What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and the critics and the blue check marks did everything they could to try to bury this movie, but it didn't matter. It still broke streaming records, and now it's getting a sequel, and that is Chris Pratt's The Tomorrow War over there on Amazon. And the reason that so many critics didn't want to like this movie, the reason that so many blue check marks, the reason that so many people on Twitter came out and tried to rally against it is, of course, because of Chris Pratt. Because Chris Pratt doesn't fall in to the far left woke echo chamber of traditional Hollywood. Chris Pratt is his own dude. He is a Christian. He is maybe he's a Trump supporter even. We don't know. We've never heard him say anything about that. But because to these people, silence is violence, they want to despise him. They want to hate him. Even though, from everything we've seen, Chris Pratt seems like a pretty damn good dude. Not perfect by any means, but a pretty good dude who wants to celebrate America, celebrate the flag, and celebrate his fans. And that's a big no-no in Hollywood. Take a look at the headline from Deadline. The Tomorrow War 2. Amazon and Skydance already in talks for a sequel, reteaming with Chris Pratt and director Chris McKay and more. Now, I've made my thoughts pretty clear about the Tomorrow War in general. We can go and look at everyone's thoughts here when you look at the audience and, of course, the critics. The critics did not like this movie. A lot of critics said basically it's like the worst movie ever made, blah, 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 machismo, too much of this stuff. Well, we know that they hate it because it's not preaching anything. That's why audience liked it. That's why critics were very so-so on it. Because this movie doesn't preach anything. There isn't any identity politics in it. It's simply a story. Is it a great story? No, I don't think it's a great story. I think it's an okay story. It's definitely got its flaws, but at the end of the day, it's a powerful message about family, and that is not good for Hollywood right now. They don't want messages that are just about family. It's got to be preaching something. You can't just have a story about a father and his family. No, no, no. And of course, there's a lot of different popcorny action thrown into the mix throughout this entire thing. When we look at the numbers, this is where you could really tell that it was catching on with audiences. The Tomorrow War, watched by 2.4 million US households, says Samba TV. And this broke a ton of records for Amazon. Now, Amazon, although they have a lot of Prime members, they potentially have a lot of subscribers like Netflix. Not everybody that has Prime uses their Amazon Prime Video like so many people use Netflix. They've both got, over 200 million subscribers, but not nearly that many people use Amazon Prime. They're trying to turn it into that type of platform, though. Amazon did not report viewership figures for their $200 million Skydance acquisition title, Tomorrow War, but third-party streaming analytics, Samba TV, did, and the Chris Pratt movie drew 2.41 million US households during the 4-day holiday weekend. So there's a lot of talk about Samba TV. Samba TV are not exact numbers. Samba TV, it's not installed on everyone's smart TVs. It's installed on some smart TVs. But that's also not going to track anyone who watches it on a tablet, anyone who watches on a phone, anyone who watches on a computer. It doesn't track those numbers. It simply tracks some smart TV numbers. So if you have a Fire Stick even, I don't know if it's tracking that. So it's very rudimentary, but you can compare it with other things that Samba TV has tracked. The previous 3-day weekend viewership for Amazon movies Tom Clancy Without Remorse and Borat's subsequent movie film was 2.3 and 1.6 over 3 days, so it beat out those. Amazon had previously reported their Eddie Murphy acquisition Coming to America was their biggest weekend premiere ever, but nobody knows the numbers on that. Samba also didn't measure the pic's first weekend. Amazon also said somehow that Borat 2's first weekend was watched by, quote, tens of millions. I kind of doubt that. And I'll go into why I don't believe that in a second. On the plus side, Tomorrow War's weekend viewership beats the first 4 days of HBO Max's Justice League The Snyder Cut, which attracted 1.8 million households stateside. And I don't know. Yeah, it did say there's so 2.4 US households to 1.8 US households for the Snyder Cut. Of course, that is different. HBO Max doesn't have nearly the same subscriber base. So those numbers were extremely good for them, whereas this number is extremely good for Netflix as well. The Tomorrow War launched in 240 countries and territories on Prime Video. The movie ranked #1 over 4th of July weekend. And we actually have, I need to find that. I think we have somewhere Chris Pratt. Yeah, Chris Pratt. I think I pulled this up on Twitter. It's probably a better spot for it over on Twitter. And I lost it, of course. Here we go. Let's listen to Chris Pratt kind of celebrating and thanking fans for what happened in Tomorrow War.
Happy 4th of July to everybody. in America and to everyone around the world. I want to say to all of you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have helped to make Tomorrow War the #1 movie in the world. I'm feeling pumped, to say the least, and filled with gratitude. The first 48 hours of global viewing for the Tomorrow War on Prime Videos, it's broken all the records, and it's #1 streaming film in the world. And you know, we really just could not have done that without each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your positive audience reactions. If you haven't...
There you go. So him thanking his fans and thanking everybody. It is important to note when you look at the rating on Amazon, 4.5 stars out of 5. That is pretty good, especially when it comes to what they've been seeing from their own stuff. So they're seeing the audience reaction, they're seeing the numbers, and they said, hey, we're going to make another one. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know what a sequel of this would be like. Are you going to do a prequel? I don't know. If you've seen the movie, you'll understand that I don't really know where they're going to go with this. I thought the movie was okay. More importantly, it's just fun. It's just turn off your brain and watch it and have fun. There's not enough of that in Hollywood these days because everything is trying to send you a message. That wasn't in this movie. It was just straight up popcorn fun, and that's the reason that so many people watch. That's the reason so many people are giving it a positive rating, and that's the reason it's now getting a sequel. When it comes to those numbers, I did want to look at Netflix and say why Netflix is just in another area. This came out on June 1st. Top 10 most watched movies ever on Netflix. And you see Army of the Dead, right? Snyder's Army of the Dead, which had only released a few weeks before that, was already at 72 million views. Extraction, the one with Chris Hemsworth, that's almost at 100 million views. It's probably over 100 million views now. It's just a different ball game, a different animal when we're talking about Netflix because people are so used to turning on Netflix. That's where everyone is trying to play catch up to make themselves the next Netflix, put themselves on that level so they can get 70 million views in a few weeks. But when it comes to the Tomorrow War, when it comes to Chris Pratt, you gotta feel good for the dude, and you gotta feel good that the mainstream media, these blue check marks, got absolutely cucked by the Tomorrow War. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.